Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me for this discussion. In fact, we see that Europeans now really see the need to take the lead on support for Ukraine, especially as the tensions between the US and Ukraine could not be higher, and because European security is, of course, directly impacted by what is happening. I think it is interesting to see that the UK is taking the lead here with the summit that we just saw in London this weekend, because on the one hand, it has these very strong historic tie with the United States, but has also been a staunch supporter of Ukraine since the very beginning of the war. So the Prime Minister should indeed be in a very good position. So now we are basically in a wait and see position to what extent Washington can be brought on board for this plan that they might be presenting.
But Gesine, let me just maybe gently probe one of the first points you said there. Europe must take the lead in support for Ukraine. My understanding is that Europe has spent the same, if not more, money on the United States anyway supporting Ukraine. Now, it cannot match the US militarily. That is without doubt. US intelligence, US patriots, US munitions will far outnumber and outdo the Europeans on any front at the moment for the foreseeable future. But in terms of total support for Ukraine, I thought the Europeans were already outspending the Americans.
Yes, they are. But the support for Ukraine is, of course, on the one hand, about the financial and military support, but it is also really about the strategic support and about thinking about how the country can be secure in the future and also be shielded from future attacks from Russia. And it is very clear that there is very little willingness at the moment in the United States to either provide security guarantees or to open the door for NATO membership. So all this is going to fall on Europeans, and it is precisely here where they now need to step up. So basically, it is a now or never moment for European security and defense.
But security guarantees, funny enough, I'd raised this very issue with President Zelensky in Vilnius at the NATO summit a couple of years ago. And I raised this exact point. I said, what use are security guarantees if the security guarantees that you obtained from the great power, so to speak, in the Budapest Memorandum, in the wake of the falling of the wall, if they weren't honoured, what good are security guarantees? And I'll add that to the fact that actually a very senior Ukrainian told me very recently that actually the idea of being a full member of NATO is a figment of imagination. So how does this go forward if security guarantees haven't been backed up beforehand, and we've seen this from Minsk as well, and two, that NATO is just a figment of the imagination?
Yeah, so let's be very honest. I think we are all pretty clear-eyed that NATO membership for Ukraine, especially with the current US administration, seems more or less off the table. So if the United States does not want to provide a bilateral security guarantee for Ukraine, they also do not want to open the door for NATO membership because that is an institutionalized security guarantee.